All right, well, good afternoon, Wildcats. Welcome, and thanks for being here. This is a great celebration of NMU football and how we are celebrating a story and the history and legacy of our program. I am Shane Richardson. I'm the head football coach here currently. I'm also a proud Wildcat alum of the class of 2001, and we're here to celebrate the coaches, the players, the teams that have helped build this program throughout the years, and also an opportunity to inspire what Wildcat football will look like in the future. Personally, I want to invite you out to our practice this afternoon. After this program gets finished, we will be over in the Dome at 3:45 p.m. Our current team will be practicing, an opportunity to come out and show support for the future generation of Wildcats working hard. Without any further ado, I want to introduce your moderator for today, someone that needs no introduction, to Marquette. He is also a proud NMU alum. He is a former Wildcat quarterback. He is a legendary NFL coach. Also, the face of NFL Network. Coach Steve Mariucci will be our moderator for today. We also have Coach Grenke that's come into the arena here. I'm going to hand it over to Coach Mariucci here, and we'll get going here.
Herb Grenke, everybody. Thanks, Kurt. Thanks, Shane. Good luck. Thanks for that. And we'll see you over at practice, okay? Yeah, everybody's invited to go over to practice. So, thank you for coming, everybody. We just had a little lunch with the team and the families and watched the entire game. We watched the entire game, cut the commercials out. Still took 2.5 hours. Most of the team was there, and many are here right now, so it was a blast. And I don't know if any of us has seen the darn thing. I mean, ever. I mean, maybe clips here and there, but we saw the game in its entirety. We won 16-14, and that's like. But here's what we thought we'd do today. We have representation from each decade, okay? We're going to start off with the 70s. We're going to have the 80s over here with these guys. We got some 90s, and we got some 2000s. And over the years, the program has had a lot of success and a lot of great people going through it. We're going to start off today with Herb Grenke. And Herb is the only surviving living coach from the 75 championship team. You know that Buck has passed. He's 88 years old. Buck has passed, Gil Krieger, Bob Sadek, Billy Rademacher, they're all gone. So he wanted to say a few words about them, okay? And we also have a couple of microphones that are going to be running around in the stands. So if you grab one and you want to ask somebody a tough question, you can do it.
Okay, I will.
Not yet.
Okay, I will.
All right, K-Roy, where'd Coach LeDuc go? Who's still married? Okay, up here on this panel? All right, well, let's have some fun with this, okay? Let's go through the age for the last half a century. And if you guys have anything from the crowd after each person talks a little bit and you want to ask them a question, Fragel, go ahead and fire it off, okay? You got that? So, first off, well, before I introduce Herb, I also want to commend Northern Michigan for putting this weekend on. It's been a blast so far. It started last night at Black Rocks. It's been a lot of work, and then today's luncheon and this and the banquet tonight, and there's more tomorrow, and there's the game and the halftime. All of that has been very well received, and we're just honored to be here, okay? Herb Grenke. There has been no coach in the history of Northern football. Northern started football in 1904. You were just a kid, all right? And think about that, 124 years of football here. Nobody has served as an assistant coach, a coordinator, and a head coach, and an ambassador, and on the selection committees more so than Herb Grenke. He was the defensive coordinator when we won the championship. He stayed when Billy Rademacher was the head coach as his defensive guy. He took over when Billy left, and he's been here ever since. So you talk about loyalty. He would never win in the transfer portal, okay? This guy has been here through thick and thin. Herb Grenke, you got a little word for us? We love you. Thank you so much for coming. Herb Grenke, everybody.
Oh, wow. Special memories. And these guys, boy, they brought so much joy to our family. And as most of you know, Sandy, the love of my life, and one of the best coaches. It's not easy to be a coach's wife, and one of the best coaches' wives ever. So this is such a special weekend because it's more than just about winning a national championship. It's about comradeship, the special bond that goes to our teammates. And boy, I think about the rest of the guys on that staff. Gil Krieger. I finally had a Division I job, Northern Illinois, and Gil calls and says, "I'm going to Northern Michigan. You want to come along?" I jumped at the chance. Northern Michigan. Most of my coaching was in Wisconsin state colleges, and we didn't play Northern Michigan. You did. If you did, you were going to get beat bad. So Al Sandona and those guys, they had a great program, and then they had a couple bad years, and we were fortunate enough to be part of this great university, this great program. Thank you so much for the support you have given. How many were at or have seen the national championship game? Oh,
I just saw it.
about every, yeah. Even that dog. Oh, God bless you all.
Thank you, Herb.
Yeah, Steve's always on top of stuff, right? How many watch his TV program? Hey, is that, you know what I like, Steve? Other commentators, and I don't want to name any names, but other commentators are sometimes so negative, right? And Steve is never that way. He's always positive. He always brings out what's important in the team he's covering or the game he's covering. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. We need that. We need that in our society. Coach Buck. I'm sure other guys will share some things about Coach Buck, but one of my memories was in the national championship game, and we weren't doing very well. The other team had, I think, scored a couple of times, and Gil goes over to Buck and he says, "Buck, nothing's working. What should I call?" And Buck, in his casual manner, said, "Well, you're the head coach. You get paid to make those calls." And he calls a simple dive play. And you remember that one, right?
Randy Orey.
Randy Orey goes all the way for a touchdown.
Go, Randy.
Another Iron Mountain guy, right? So Billy is a wonderful story, but such a sad story. His wife, Karen, if Sandy were here, she'd be, Karen just had such a aura about her, so pleasant, so beautiful, so caring. And my kids, who were young at that time, and they'll be here later, they just loved Karen, and she did so many she was so creative in addition to being talented. And so I thank God for Billy and Karen, and wow. Bobby, here Bobby Jerson, ended up playing in Canadian football for many years. And what a joy. Can you imagine this guy? You put him down in a stance, and he's in the backfield, and he's sacking the quarterback. He's tackling the ball carriers for loss consistently. It wasn't just once in a while. It was a lot. And from Bessemer, how many people here are from the UP? The Bessemer, the UP pride. Pat Gallino was his coach. And Pat was, what do we call people who weren't born here? Implant? That's not a good
implant.
word.
Yep.
That's not a good word, but that kind of fits. Yeah. And we got Bobby, and almost from day one, he just stood out. he just was so great.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Anybody else you guys want to hear about from back in the day? Thank you, Coach.
You're so welcome.
Coach Herb Grenke, everybody. Give him a hand. Okay. You're next. Your next chair. This guy right here, Fred Smith, from Stowe, Ohio. I don't even know where that is, all right? And we think that we came in as freshmen together in '73, and he keeps saying that he came in before that, like one semester. Is that gray shirting or what? I don't know what that was. But this guy, Fred Smith, he started at defensive line, started every game. He was here for 4 years. Then they moved him to linebacker. Then Buck stole him, and Roy Brown was a linebacker too with Fred, and then being scrimmages. I'd be looking at those two guys, and I'd get flu-like symptoms just thinking about it. And so Buck said, I need him on offense. So they ended up to be the guards for a couple years. Best bodyguards you ever want in your whole life, okay? So his nickname is Ginzo. But this guy not only played offense and defense in football, the darn guy wrestled for 3 years at Northern Michigan too. You got to be a sicko to do all that. Fred is a sicko, okay? He's one of the guys, he's the spoon that stirs the drink. He's the guy on the team that nobody messes with to this day. So I'm going to let you guys hear from Fred Smith from Stowe, Ohio, came all the way up from Florida to be with it today. Fred Smith, everybody.
One of the tough, in almost 50 years of coaching, one of the toughest guys you ever coached. Yeah.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate that. I love Marquette. It's the crown jewel of the UP to me. And I got one good story that comes to mind is when we got back from the '75 championship game, we were at the North End Tavern and having a few beers. And out of nowhere, the assistant wrestling coach comes in and asks me if I can wrestle a match next Saturday against Saginaw Valley. And I had beer balls at the time. So I said, yeah, I can do it. No problem. So I go to practice on Monday. I know I'm not anywhere near good enough to wrestle right now because I just got done playing football. So we wrestle against Saginaw Valley. The match is tied. I'm wrestling heavyweight, and I'm wrestling a guy that's way better than I am. And I was lucky enough to time at the end of the match, and we went into overtime. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up right now. So I end up taking him down with no time left. We win the match. Everybody's jumping all over the gym. I run downstairs. I'm heaving in the daggone bathroom. And this guy comes in to help me out, and it was Bob Seeger. So that's how I met Bob Seeger.
Oh, no.
He came in and asked me if I was all right, and I said, I'm not all right, but I will be. But he said he got me some water, and I was dry heaving, and ended up giving me some tickets to the daggone concert, because he had a concert after our wrestling match. So that's my claim to fame at Northern Michigan. I met Bob Seeger. And I went to wrestling practice on Monday, and I didn't feel that good either. So I made it through that year, though. But it was my claim to fame here at Northern Michigan, and it was a hell of a good 4 years I had here. And I love this university, no doubt. Thank you.
Thanks, Fred. Anybody have anything for Fred? Did you sing like night moves in the bathroom or anything? What did you guys sing together?
Run it against the wind.
Run it against the wind. Okay. All right. All right. Next up, Keith Ponder. This guy's got an interesting story because he came in from Phoenix, but that's not where he grew up. His dad was in the military, and he traveled all over the world, actually. He lived in Japan. He lived in almost every state in the Union. If you ask him where his home is, I don't know what he would tell you. But I know this. I know that somehow, some way, our staff found him at Phoenix Junior College. They don't even have football anymore, right, Skip? His nickname is Skip. And came in, and he was our starting corner. We just saw an interception that he made in the national championship game, and he was over at corner for 2 years for us. Great player, and I had coached a lot of years in the pros, and this guy, you know, he played for the Cowboys and the Patriots, and if it weren't for injuries, he would have been still playing at age 50, 70? What are you right now? I mean, this guy can do it. this guy can do it. But Skip, you got to tell him. I hope you got in your plan to tell him about how you got here. Okay, with Billy Rademacher recruiting you out there. All right, Skip Ponder, everybody.
Am I on? Can you hear me? Yeah. So first off, thanks for whoever put me up here. I'm honored. I'm honored. I'm honored. I'm honored. So the story, I was a small kid growing up. I think I was maybe 100 pounds as a freshman in high school. I was so small I had to run cross country because my dad was in Nam, and they said we got no one to call if you get injured. In my sophomore year in California, the coach never played me one down. You know, I would jump in the mud before I went home and lie to my parents about the game. My junior year in Arizona, I was 135 pounds. I played JV. Finally, my senior year, 155, I played offense and defense, but my thing was track and field. I ran on 2 state championship teams in the quarter mile relay and the mile relay, and I went to a JC and I did the same thing. So after 2 years of playing football at JC, I didn't know what was going on. All my scholarships were in track, but I was tired of running because it was so dang hot out there. There's nothing like working out in 110, 115 degree weather, running 800s and 400s, whatnot. So one day in basketball, I'm in the gym playing basketball with some guys, and my coach, Ken Stites, he says, "Hey, Skip," he said, we got a guy who wants to talk to you from some school called Northern Michigan University. I said, "Where is he?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "Just come in and talk to the guy." So I went and sat down with Billy Rademacher, and I was impressed with him. Just had a real nice tone. I saw a Super Bowl ring. He said, "Coach Krieger, our head coach, told me not to promise any starting jobs to any recruits." He says, "But I'll tell you," he said, "if you come, I promise you're going to start." He said we were one player away from winning every game that we lost the year before. You guys had lost 10 games. And every game that you played, he says, you guys were in the game until the last few minutes. And I believed him. So I took the ride up, and my recruit that took care of me the first night was Zach Fowler. Is he in here? Hey, Zach? Well, okay, I can tell the story then. So I'm with Zach in Payne Hall and with the bros and stuff when they're playing a game of spades, a game of cards, and after the game was over, Zach's partner played the wrong hand, and Zach got pissed, and they started yelling and screaming. And I said, "Oh God, I ain't coming back here." So I told Rad the next morning, and Coach Rademacher, what he did was he said, "I got somebody else for you. This guy's a little mellow," and he hooked me up with Kurt Albrecht. "Where are you, Kurt? Take a wave." There he is over there. Kurt was so kind. Just a great guy, and he took me for a ride in his MG, convertible MG, and I'll tell a part of the story that I don't do anymore, but someone had given me some Thai stick that night.
And what?
Well, you really don't know because he never smoked pot, but Thai. And so, you know, we're riding around Presque Isle, and he got the top down, and I'm feeling good. And I see these lights across the sky, and I said, "Oh my God, I must be tripping." Then I asked Kurt, I said, "What are those things?" He said, "Oh, Skip," he said, "those are called the Northern Lights." And they blew me away. And I told Kurt, I said, "I'm coming back." He said, "Skip, don't jive me unless you come back." I said, "No, I'm coming back." So Krieger tried to sign me, and I said, "I got to get home, tell my dad." And my dad was pissed. He said, "You're going to go to a school that lost every game last year and blah, blah, blah." And he said, "You got all these scholarships in track." And I said, "I'm coming back." And he actually wanted to call Krieger and said, "My son's not coming." And I told him for the first time, I stood up, I said, "Dad, this is my choice." And my mom said, "Yeah, this is Skip's choice." And I bought the dream. So when I came up here, all I saw was hard work. I saw guys competing against each other for that spring. I saw will to win, and I felt like I was going to be a part of something big. So after that first game, we beat Whitewater. I had a decent game. The next game, I had a decent game. But my coach, Sadik, walked up to me before Central, and he says, "Skip, I got to tell you," he said, "Krieger wants to bench you." Yeah, he did. And he said, "Krieger doesn't believe you're that good." And then he says, he wants to try this freshman named Kenny Ames to replace you. And Coach said, he says, I'm not going to do it, but you got to go out, you got to have a good game that week. And that's when the magic happened. Central Michigan was the first big university, even though they were small, they were national champions. And I got the jitters out after one quarter, and the rest was just magical. So all that year, we just grew. My confidence grew, and I guess the rest is history. But what I remember most about Marquette was just the camaraderie, the team camaraderie. We were a bunch of guys that never want to let each other down. During fourth quarter drills with Buck, we ran hard. No one wanted to come in last for nothing. And I'd never been a part of something like that. As to where you plan something and you find out what teammates are, because your teammates have to work as hard as you do in practice. They got to show up for the games. And after the games, we had good times or whatnot. So I got to tell this part also, Steve. I think it was, after I left Northern, I played 3 preseasons in the league. I think that Stu Betts was with me in Dallas. I think he was. And everywhere I went, I got hurt. And so I was done in 3 years, and I had a lot to deal with when football was over. I gained weight purposely so people would stop asking me, do you play football? And what happened and whatnot. So I was trying to grab this identity that I'm not my activities. What I do is not who I am. And I wrestled with that because I lived in so many places. Japan, back in the 60s, my dad got sent to Canada. We couldn't go, so he sent us back to Macon, Georgia. And in 1966, my brother and my sisters and myself, we were the first black people in Macon to desegregate the schools. And I got to tell you, it was tough. It was tough. I'd raise my hand and not get called on. I was bringing home Fs for the first time. They called my dad and said, Skip's failing. He was furious, so he actually flew back to Macon, and he's trying to find out why. I'm up to 2 o'clock in the morning trying to do homework that I had no instructions in. And my brother, the great guy, would try to help me, and my dad said, no, make him do it on his own. So I developed an inferiority complex in terms of being in school. And it took a long time for me to overshadow that. But by God's grace, by the time I was in 6th grade, my dad got orders to leave Canada and got sent to Arizona. And the day I walked in that classroom in Arizona, I was on an Air Force base, a school. Everyone said, hi, Keith, and it was such a great relief. So I was blessed. By the time I got here, I'd lived around everybody. I lived around a lot of people. So I was kind of well-rounded, but at the same time, Northern was something different. It was just something different. I don't know, Bobby Tuma, I don't know why we loved each other so much. I don't know why we took practice so seriously, because by the time Saturday came, games were easy because during the week, we beat each other up. Coach Grenke and my coach, Bob Sadik, they did not want to let Bill Rodemacher and Gil Krieger get away with anything in practice. Steve, you remember? Anything. I got to give a shout out to Paul Cucinato, who's not here right now. Paul is in an assisted living program someplace in Illinois. He has that Huntington's disease, and he's in a wheelchair. And he was my partner in crime. Myself, Joe Stemo, and Alex Maslamani. I talked to Doc Sala a few years ago, and apparently Alex's mom died. He loved his mom, and he's been in a deep depression. So there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys here, but there's some guys that couldn't make it. And let's just keep those guys in your heart. So I've talked long enough, so here you go, Steve. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Skip. Yeah. Anybody have anything for Skip Ponder? You got to tell the story real quick, okay? You got to tell the story about the Super Bowl ring.
Oh, yeah.
With Billy Rademacher's Super Bowl ring. Billy Rademacher won a Super Bowl as a wide receiver for the Jets. Played with Joe Namath. Anyway, talk about the Super Bowl ring.
So Rademacher is showing me the film and all that or whatnot, and I'm looking at his finger, and I'm saying, "What's that?" He says, "Oh, it's a Super Bowl ring." He didn't mention it at first, but I said, "Can I see it?" And he took that ring off. He took the ring off his finger, and he said, "I don't take this ring off my finger for much," but he let me look at it. And he says, "I'm telling you, Keith, if you come back, you're going to win. You'll win with this team." He says, "I know talent, and if you play good, we'll get you some looks with the scouts or whatnot." But yeah, that ring is why. That's part of the reason why I came back. That's part of the reason. But when I got up here with Bob Sadik and Bill Rodemacher, they took practice so serious. If you guys caught a pass, we'd get yelled at in the huddle. This guy, Herb Grenke, during '75, when the players were declared ineligible, the good guys during the playoffs, and we had 4 or 5 guys who couldn't play, and he grabbed 4 freshmen, and that went against players that were 260, 275 for 3 games straight. And Coach, I don't know how you did it, but you haven't gotten your flowers yet. People talk about how our staff was, because they were all great, but Coach Grenke, you're the man, and I love you so much, and I'm glad that I got a chance to see you again. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we divided this here a little bit. The reason is because this guy right here played at North Dakota State, for crying out loud. So we beat you guys in '76 right here at Memorial Field, and then you got us the next.
Yeah, you killed us by 3.
Yeah, he killed you by 3. And then the next year in '77, we opened with you guys and you beat us, and then we had to go back with snowbanks like this, and you got us in the playoffs. So I can't believe you're on this panel, okay? Jerry and I have been friends for a long, long time. He started his coaching career here. After he graduated, you did graduate, right, from North Dakota State, and he went into high school and this and that, and he said, "I want to be a coach." Well, Billy Rodemacher gave him his first college job in 1981, right here. So he was an assistant coach with Billy for several years, great success. Then he was an assistant coach with Herb Grenke for a while too. Before on, he went to a lot of colleges, but the guy ended up in the National Football League. He's got a Super Bowl ring. Did you bring it? Look at that thing, okay? With the Baltimore Ravens, but he coached with Cleveland, with Atlanta, with Denver. He's bounced around the world like a lot of our coaching wives have done, a lot of colleges, but many, many years in the National Football League. Special teams coach, he's been an interim head coach. I mean, he's done it all. Analytics, the whole thing. That's why we thought you'd be a great addition to this panel, because of the experience that you had that all started right here at Northern Michigan University. Jerry Rosburg, everybody.
Thank you, Steve. I'm going to lead with gratitude. I come back here every once in a while, and I have so many strong memories of the relationships that were built here in Marquette, and really gave me an opportunity to go pursue my coaching dreams. Those opportunities actually came all the way back to Fargo when Coach Buck, who was very much a coaching mentor for me, even though I was never on the same staff with him, Coach Buck coached Jimmy Driscoll. Jim Driscoll was my coach at North Dakota State. So I was coaching at Shanley High School in Fargo, North Dakota upon graduation, and I would come out here to Marquette to coach in the summer camps. High school kids, little guys from Marinette and Trout Creek, 10-year-olds. And Jim Driscoll wanted me to learn how to coach, so he put me with Coach Buck. So I was over in the chutes with these junior high kids and a few high school guys, and that's where I learned how to coach. I learned how to coach offensive line in the chutes, and I never coached offensive line before that or after that, but it was really a lesson on how to coach. And so my gratitude goes to the opportunity to learn how to coach here at Northern Michigan University. And it was Coach Buck, it was Coach Driscoll, it was Coach Grenke, and Coach Rodemacher, and then all the other coaches that they would bring in the summertime. And it was like a Hank Bola, Charlie McBride, and on. There's the coaches that would come in here in the summertime, and we would sit around the campfire at Dr. Ludlow's camp and share football stories, but also football techniques and fundamentals and defenses and offense. And it was like a boarding school for football coaches, and I was so blessed to be a part of that. That's when I knew I wanted to be a coach. Until that time, it seemed pretty comfortable to be a high school teacher and hang out there in my hometown of Fargo. But when I came to Marquette, I knew that there was much more out there, and this place and the people here gave me that opportunity. I will be eternally grateful for that. The second thing I'd like to just bring forward is I'm hearing from these gentlemen to my right, Keith and Fred and Herb and Steve even, there's something about this game of football, this rough game that we chose to play and some of us chose to coach. And we're here honoring a 1975 team that I personally got to see up close and personal in 1976. And I've said this to a couple of people, including Fred. I thought the 76 team was loaded. That was we played out here, and that was the best football team we played against. And not only that year, in the subsequent year of 77, that was a tremendous football team, up and down the lineup. And so my point being is that what makes those great football teams, I think, is beyond just the talent that you see in the athletic part of the game. There's something about football that's really unique, that brings people together. It allows the multiplicity, all the players from backgrounds such as Skip expressed to you, and a guy from Stowe, Ohio, and a guy from Iron Mountain, Michigan, and from all over the place that would come together and bring their specific talents and their specific outlooks on life, and they find a way to unify and express that unity on Saturdays and all the different skills that they possess. And it's such a beautiful thing with football because there's so many different talents that it takes to play this game. And if you have individual talents and they're not expressed to the guy next to you, they will never be manifest. They'll never show up. And in 75 and 76 and 77, I think we saw those teams that had great talent but also had great brotherhood. From the coaching staff down through the playing ranks, these people understood how relationship builds performance. And I think it's still true today. And the beautiful benefit of football, and I talked to a lot of moms about, I don't want my kid to play football. I said, well, your son or your daughter in some cases, when they play flag football, there's lessons to be learned in football that they'll be utilized through the rest of their lives. So I encourage these people to go ahead and take part in it. They'll never regret being a part of a football team. I have my own teammates that to this day are my dear friends, and I have my own teammates from here from Northern that are dear friends. Football is a relationship business, and I think that it's really expressed here in the unity that the 1975 team has. And I congratulate all those members of the 75 team, and I want to again express my gratitude for being a part of this.
Thanks, Jerry. Thank you. Anybody want to wear that Super Bowl ring this afternoon? Take it home.
Ray Lewis, when I got my first Super Bowl ring at the awards banquet, we were obviously having a celebration, and Ray had already had one, and so we got another one. And he says, here's something you need to remember. If somebody wants to see it, always make a fist.
So, speaking of Iron Mountain, right, Randy Ori? So listen, Roy, is Kingsford and Iron Mountain kind of the same little town? Let's just go with it for now, okay? We had Randy Ori from Iron Mountain. We had Mike Brands, who couldn't make it up from Iron Mountain, right? Of course, Roy and Rich McGuire from Kingsford. We had Tommy Bertoldi from Iron Mountain, a quarterback. Well, this guy, Rick Popp from Iron Mountain, okay? He was best friends with my younger brother. And he was pretty darn good, all right? He brought his team with Herb Grenke to the semifinals in 1987. We talk a lot about the 75 team. That's what the reunion is. But the 70s, as Jerry mentioned, 75, 6, and 7, 3 playoff runs, seasons in a row, right? Well, the 80s, they went to the playoffs 4 times. Billy Rademacher went 80, 81, and 82. as Herb as the assistant, and then as Herb as the head coach, they went back in 87. So the 80s were really successful as well. This program was screaming in the 70s and 80s, okay? All right. Anyway, this guy right here, not only did he play quarterback, y'all mentioned All-American, all-conference, the whole thing, team MVPs in the Hall of Fame right now from Iron Mountain High, but he also served on the board of trustees at Northern Michigan University for 2 times, the chair. All right? So on and off the field, Ricky Popp has had such a contribution to Northern Michigan University. Ricky, got anything to say to everybody today? Let's do
probably
it.
too much.
Ricky Popp, everybody.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. All right. So my heart is so full. So let me try to explain why. I don't know why. But let me start. So my dad played football here in like 1960, 61. So he's from Pennsylvania, but he's here. Everyone thinks he's a Youper. Sugar Pop. Some of you know Sugar Pop. Still hanging in there. Pray for Sugar. And and he gets a coaching job over in Lawrence. I was born in Lawrence, and then I moved as a really young kid to Iron Mountain. And so mid-70s, you know, I'm getting into that age where I'm really starting to love football. And who do all of a sudden I run into, you know, kind of who's our local hero? You're in junior high. Your heroes are these college guys. And I'm just blessed by having, you know, I see Steve walking down the aisle at church with his letter jacket on. And it's like, wow, we have legends in our own church. And just being able to have that. So my dad played football here. My beautiful wife Sue sitting there is a basketball Wildcat here. My son Sam played soccer here, and my son Isaiah played with Jake. I was recruited by Coach Rademacher, and right when I was getting ready to commit, he got the job at Michigan State. Coach Grenke becomes the head coach. So I just can't believe these connections. That's almost like This Is Your Life. Remember that old TV show, This Is Your Life? I was like 4 when it was on. But just to see all this, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I can't thank you to have Coach Grenke, the link between my 87 team especially as the head coach and with these guys. You 75 guys, I know so many of you. You've just become friends, good friends. Picture my brother Billy and I, my brother Tim, all shared a bedroom. Our posters, of course, are Farrah Fawcett and the 75 championship team. Those are the 2 posters in our bedroom. I mean, how cool is that? You know, them being able to play here and those early 80 teams. You know, we'd be in high school. You come up and watch the games, and those early 80 teams are unbelievable. You know, Tom Bertoldi was a Mountaineer, so it was like, wow, there's another Mountaineer. But you had Reggie Oliver and Dave Shapaniak, and my goodness, just tough, great. George Works, and just players. And I see Jerome Barnes running around out there, I think, and some of you guys, I mean, these are just the names. Coach Zimmerman, Randy Zimmerman, you know, Randy Ari, you know, that is our local heroes. So it's just such a beautiful thing. I can't thank you enough. And Steve's like my 6th favorite Mariucci. You got Cheryl and Donna, and, you know, you got Mike and Sandy and Bobby, and Steve. He wasn't bad either. And then he's like about the 3rd or 4th best quarterback coming out of Iron Mountain. So it's just great having him here, retiring our number together. It's a beautiful thing. Padrizzi's up there laughing. Love to see him. So it's just so beautiful. You know, obviously Northern is so important. And Coach Rosburg was my coach. I mean, just to be able to have him and watch him in his career, what a good man. And maybe the last thing I'll say, just the beauty of Northern Michigan University, where, man, you have role models in life. We had a couple guys recently. You know, we lost some guys to suicide. And, you know, you just pray for guys that are struggling right now. And not just guys, we say everybody. But I just am thankful for the community we have, for role models that we have, for good people that aren't just successful in sports or their careers. That's good. But just good people. So I just appreciate you guys getting together and you 75 guys staying together. I know my 87 team especially, we get together every year. And when you lose one, you all hurt. But you pull it together and you know there's a greater future for all of us. So God bless you all for being here. And thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Rick. Thank you. Donna's sitting right there. Yeah. All right, Iron Mountain. Yeah, your jersey's getting retired, man. That's awesome. All right, next up. Anybody have anything to say for Rick? Any questions? Okay, we'll go to Matt Hoard. So this was the 70s. This was the 80s. Herb Grenke was through it all right? Now let's go to the 90s, okay? Matt Hoard had to have another quarterback up here, didn't we? 93 to 96. He led it all 4 years, but he was the starter for 95 and 96. Darn guy went 7-3 both years. All conference, the whole kit and caboodle. MVP, NMU Sports Hall of Fame. He really did it. Set all kinds of records. Anything we did, he just smashed it, okay? The guy's a heck of a player. His teammates were Shane Richardson, the head coach now, and a guy named Robert Saleh. Have you heard of Robert Saleh? He's back with the 49ers as a defensive coordinator now, but he was the head coach of the Jets, and he's had a heck of a career. Played with him, all right? Was he your tight end? You ever throw him the ball? All right. Yeah, he was redshirted. All right. But off the field, too, this guy was an all-academic, all-American 2 different times. He's a brain injury specialist, the whole thing. He's had quite a career personally after graduating. Let's welcome Matt Hoard.
I can't believe this panel come up, the guys that came before us, and guys that I'd heard of, but never officially met, and this was great. I'm so honored to be up here. Coach Grenke was here. He was actually a teacher of mine. I think Theory of Football I was in, and he coached it, and I think us football players got A's, right? I'm pretty sure of that one, but this place is family for me, and I mean literally. I came up here in '93, kind of scared. Believe it or not, I'd never been past about the first exit over the bridge into the Upper Peninsula. My dad took us across the bridge just to do it, and then we turned around and went back. And I swear, my first trip was my official visit, more than a mile past the bridge. But anyway, kind of scared to come here a little bit, and it ended up being the greatest thing in my life. I got to reiterate what football does to young people. It's your best class in high school, in college, because you got to deal with a boss, which is your coaches, coworkers, your teammates, the ups and downs. It's not all roses, but boy, are the good times good. And the place, I call this family because my brother came up with me. I got to play with him for 2 years. You can't explain how great that is to have literal family on the team. My son now is here. And I just can't believe what this place is now, this beautiful arena. What they've done with the facilities, it's top notch. This place is really home. I have nephews here now. So this is home. This is family for me. And there's a special place. Northern Michigan is a special place. I bleed green and gold here. So I just want to thank everyone for coming, and nice meeting everyone too. So,
thanks, Matt. Okay, look at that guy sitting up on the end, all straight. He's 6'7". He's a Youper. Jake Witt. Trout Creek High School. Anybody ever heard of that? Trout Creek High School. 6'7". So he played some basketball. Did Izzo recruit you? Darn it, should have. In track, he was discus and shot put, little 8-man football. But he's a tall, lanky kind of guy, right? Look at him. And he didn't choose Northern right away. He went to Michigan Tech to play basketball, for crying out loud, all right? And then, for whatever reason, he showed up over here. And then during COVID, during the transfer, wasn't it? And initially he was a tight end. He's an athlete. Basketball players are athletes, right? And during a year, he was asked to move from tight end to offensive tackle because of necessity. And then, all right, Jake, put some weight on, man, because you're going to be a tackle. And a tackle he was, because he was the first guy drafted in the NFL draft from Northern Michigan in, I don't know, 34 years or 32 years or something. He was drafted to the Indianapolis Colts, and he too has suffered some injuries. Otherwise, when he came out and tested, you know, measurables, run a 40 and all that stuff, he vertical jumped 37. This is an offensive lineman. 37-inch vertical jump, 10.3 broad jump. He ran under a 4.9. He had the best time, the best measurable grade of all the linemen for like in 10 years. I mean, the guy he was an athlete, all right? An athlete. So he had a chance. He got drafted later because he came from a smaller school. But anyway, injuries did him in like it does a lot of people. But anyway, I want you to hear from Jake Witt because he is a more current guy. This is the 2000s now. This is a current guy right here. You can tell us about what you're doing right now and your experience here at Northern. Okay, Jake?
Absolutely.
Jake Witt, everybody.
Yeah, again, I'm very thankful to be a part of this panel. All these amazing men here sitting to my right. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. You know, they laid down this culture. Everybody here in the crowd, you know, laid down that Northern Michigan University culture, and you can definitely feel that culture. You know, this is home. Like he said, I started 1 year up at Michigan Tech, came over here to Marquette, Northern Michigan University, and this is home. You know, I played for the Indianapolis Colts, like Steve said, came back to the Upper Peninsula, to the Western Upper Peninsula where I'm from, and this will always be home. So something that really sticks out to me with Northern Michigan University football is just the culture you can feel. One specific story I have, so Coach Kyle Nystrom, he was the head coach when I was here. Buck Nystrom was his father. And Coach Buck would still roll up to practice, our practice, with his PT Cruiser. He'd drive it up on the lawn, come out to the practice, and he hadn't, you know, he didn't have an official role as a coach or anything, but he would come out there and every coach would listen to what he said. So that was fantastic having him around, but we unfortunately lost him when I was playing at Northern here, and that following week was homecoming, and traditions that Coach Buck had instilled in Northern Michigan University football, those, you know, all these men that lived through those traditions, that culture, they were still there when I was playing, and they're still here today. And that specific story, so we lost Coach Buck the previous week. It was homecoming. We were playing Wayne State University that next week. I think we were down 3 scores going into the fourth quarter, and the fourth quarter is a big thing in Coach Buck and Northern Michigan University's tradition. And we're down 3 scores going into that fourth quarter. We end up just, you know, we score a touchdown right off the bat. Turnover, we come back, score another touchdown. Crowd's getting back into it. Most unbelievable thing. I mean, just these football plays that you're talking, we recover fumble, run it back for a touchdown, 60 yards. We get the ball back on an onside kick. First play back, 60-yard rushing touchdown, all in the fourth quarter. Come back, win that game, homecoming. I mean, you couldn't have written a better story than that. Yeah, and I think that was just the culture, the fourth quarter culture, that Northern Michigan University culture that has lived through all these years with all these, you know, amazing men up here and everybody else. I think that's the thing that really sticks out to me with Northern is obviously it's home, but there's a culture here, there's a tradition here that's lived through all those years. Obviously in football it instills many great values in you, but as a person outside of football, outside of everything else, it instills many, many great values. And some of my best friends I will have forever are from Northern Michigan here that I met while I was here. Just getting to meet so many other amazing people from Northern has been a special part for me. So like I said, I'm very thankful to be back in the Upper Peninsula, be back, able to come back to Wildcat, traditional things like this, and just be beside amazing men like this. So I appreciate it. Very thankful to be a part of this, and thank you.
Thanks, Jake Witt. So I unless anybody else has anything to ask, Fragel, you got anything? Raise your hand. It's kind of fun to go down memory lane over the last 50 years. We just wrapped that up in about an hour. Good job, guys. But I want to thank you not only for being on this panel and doing this thing here in a very busy weekend, but thank you for all of your commitment and support for Northern Michigan University. I know you've given your blood, sweat, and tears for this university, and you will continue to do that, and we love you for it. So give these guys another round of applause, okay? Kylie, you got anything over there?
Yeah, does anyone have any questions? We got some questions?
All right, Sanborn.
We have some time.
Right.
I got a story about Buck. I was probably one of the first players that had him when he started coaching. And, you know, we didn't know what we were into. But when he had his false teeth pop out of his mouth, and he grabbed them and put them back in and didn't miss a syllable, we were scared to death. And the only other thing I want to say is for the team this year, I was part of the 0-10 team, so keep your hopes because look at what they did. So.
Thanks, Jim.
Steve, whose idea was it to take the safety at Central in the end of that game in '75 so they could kick off instead of punt? Congratulations.
So stand up, Tuma. So Bobby Tuma is going to MC the banquet tonight, all right? And smartest guy in the history of the world. But I gave him a tie because he forgot to bring a sport coat, and he's only wearing a polo tonight, so this will go with a polo, won't it? Huh?
It'll look pretty
It was
good.
your idea to go with the safety, wasn't it?
Well, we had
Huh? Here.
interesting thing. We were playing Central Michigan. First of all, I remember after the game, Herb, you and Billy were up in the press box. You came through that locker room door, and I thought you were going to you were so happy. You had a smile on your face that was about this wide. And I said, look at this. This is unbelievable. Do you remember that? You and Billy came out of the press box, and we started trotting back in, and so we wrapped them up, 17-16. But there was an interesting situation. Central Michigan was a good football team. Don't kid yourself, and everybody knows it. And we had played a heck of a game. Steve had played a heck of a game. And I want to say something about Steve, too. Maybe not the biggest guy in the world or anything like that, but a really good athlete. And I'll tell you what, this young guy was a warrior. Probably a story I shouldn't tell. Before you go out, before a game, you get taped up. I didn't even tape my ankles, nothing like that. I wasn't really, my arm was dinged up, so they taped it. When this, we all had green shirts on or white shirts, and I lost my tie. But there would be rib pads. There would be a shoulder. There was a lot of tape under that green shirt. And you just saw the film of that national championship game. This guy, he took some hits. Yeah, all week long, us quarterbacks, we get to walk around with the red shirts on, and we don't get touched, and this and that. But this, you saw in that film, that game, this young man took some hits. And he was a warrior, an excellent football player. And I really mean that. He was something else.
Thanks, Bobby.
And I mean, he was a warrior. He was a warrior.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we're going to talk about the safety. The score is 17-14. We played a good game. And we got Central Michigan. They don't even give us a time of day. They're going to take us down by 20, 25 points. Okay, it's 17-14. They've got us on about the 2-yard line. Well, we start out about the 5, and we're going nowhere. I remember Steve's out there, and Bob Sadik and Bob played quarterback, and you've heard the guys talk about Bob Sadik. He was a quarterback for the University of Minnesota in 1961, real sharp. His brother was a catcher for the San Francisco Giants, real athletic family, and I lived in Bloomington, Minnesota. And so we would ride back and forth, and we would talk football and trick plays and the side hikes and the sleeper play, the ghost play. But we talked about this safety. I'm sorry, I'm kind of digressing, aren't I? I'll get to the safety.
Well, you know why he's going to do the banquet tonight, right? He's going to it's going to last about 7 hours.
It's going to be tough. We'll probably be there till midnight. I hope everybody's eyes don't glass over. Anyway, we had talked, you talk about taking a safety. Okay, you have to give 2 points, but you get a free kick from the 20-yard line. I'm pretending we're on the football field right now, and the team's down here, right by where it says Northern, and it's 3rd down, and we run a play, and we go nowhere. And Central Michigan's lined up there. They're ready to come on the field. And so we're going to punt from our end zone. No, we're not. We're going to take the safety. You know what I'm talking about. You're shaking your head. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. So I look over at Coach Sadek, and I whisper to him, I go, we take the safety. Okay? Not a big deal. Steve goes back out there. Central Michigan can't believe it. Even the announcers, if you listen to it, go, we can't believe this. They're going for it on 4th and 9 or 4th and 11 from the 1-yard line. And I look at Steve, and I said, okay, we're taking the safety. I said, just one thing. Dance around in the end zone as long as you can, and make sure you're in the end zone. Don't put that knee down on the 1-yard line, right? And actually, one of the things about Steve, too, that made him so good, really a good athlete, really very heady, and he knew exactly what was going on, and he could execute well. Steve takes the ball and goes down and takes a knee. It's a safety. The referee goes like this. Central starts to run on the field. It's like, wait a minute, we just gave you 2 points. It's now 17-16. And I'm looking at the guy right there. He was a freshman, Jack Hearn. Another Youper, right, from Escanaba.
Yeah, Escanaba.
Jack, how about a round of applause for Jack? The reason that play was going to work is we call him Shank, but really, to tell you the truth, he could really kick a football. He really could. I mean, I saw Jack, just as a young freshman, come out and hit punts that were 60, 65 yards. And that was part of the decision, is that if Jack can really pop one from the 20, put Central Michigan back about the 35. And Central didn't have a good passing attack. Neither did Western Kentucky. If you just watched that film, you saw Western Kentucky, didn't you? They were bigger than us. They were tough. That 44, that Jefferson guy, come on. Arden was trying to do everything he could against them, knocking them around and so forth. But I'll tell you the truth. We took that. Jack came out. I don't think it was his best, but it was a good one. Put him back about the 35-yard line. And I said, okay, Central, go out there with your lousy passing attack. Your great big fullback, Brian, right? Dick Dunham. He never played another football game. Their big, strong fullback. They kept coming at us. And finally, they just ran out of time. The clock said 3 zeros, 4 zeros, and Herb Grenke came running out of the press box upstairs. We went running into the locker room, and we won 17-6. Did we get in it? Was it Skip that got the interception? Yeah, they tried to throw. And their quarterback was Ron Rummel, number 2. Yeah, they had Dick Dunham, their big fullback. They tried passing the ball. Not like Bill Rademacher's offense. Not like Bill. And Steve, you saw that Western Kentucky game, if you did watch it with us. Stevie could throw. He could. Maurice was getting open, and he could throw. And that was Central. We were 3-0. Whitewater, we should have beat. Eastern Illinois, good game. Steve playing. Central Michigan, we beat the champs. And all that ride up I-75 and heading towards the bridge at 85 miles an hour in a Greyhound bus with Zach or Maurice sleeping up in the baggage. Remember that? I looked up there and go, I saw some eyes. I go, there's somebody sleeping up here. We were going home. We had it, didn't we, Steve? Huh? What are you laughing at?
Man. You're the best. That was the longest answer I ever heard.
Oh.
They were looking for a yes or a no, all right? Did you call the safety or not? Yes, he did.
We got to talk about Stu's run
Stu's.
against Central.
Let me tell you some more about that safety.
Where are you going?
Well, you said that's the end zone, right?
There's the end zone.
And we were like,
Steve, make sure your knee is.
we were on like the
end.
team coming out. You never said I should run around, okay?
Well,
that didn't get to me, okay? All I needed to do was get. So we came out of the huddle.
Yes.
Swear to God.
Okay.
Roy Brown turns to me as we snapped. All right, we're gonna kneel on it. Ready, break. He grabbed me. Roy, you remember this? He goes, Stevie. He still calls me Stevie, okay?
Yeah.
Only my mom and my sister and Roy Brown call me Stevie, all right? He grabbed me. Stevie, make sure you get in that effing end zone, man.
Where's Roy?
Because if I go down here, they get the ball. It was 4th down, right?
Yeah.
So I had to get in the end zone, and he was going to make sure that happened. He threatened my life.
Yeah.
And then
That's something.
Huh?
That was something.
Yeah, it was something.
And the
Okay.
defense. That's another thing. No. That's another thing. When we made that movie Hand on the Line?
Yeah.
Scott Fury, who came up he came down to Phoenix, Arizona and interviewed me. He said, what do you think about the defense? And the whole time, the defense practice over there and the offense practice over there. We have different color. The offense had green on and the defense had white jerseys. I'd never thought about them. I never thought about the defense. I mean, they're all friends of mine. One of them knocked me out. Seriously, Arden Olson knocked me out in Escanaba, Michigan. Yeah, what? How many times did I get knocked out? Yeah, he did. I didn't go to my knees. I didn't. We were playing right at the start of the 75 year. I'm not kidding you guys. Do you know who this guy? This is Arden Olson right here.
Yeah, Artie Olson.
We were playing an inter-squad game. Steve's on one side, I'm on the other. We're playing an inter-squad game.
Okay.
It was going good.
Okay.
And I think my team was winning by a little bit, too.
Was this the year after the championship?
No, before.
Before.
We hadn't won a game yet, but we played this inter-squad game. And, I mean, we're going at it, though. We balanced it out, so you had the really good quarterback against about the C-class quarterback. The second right. Anyway, the team I was playing on, we were winning, I think, probably 24-10 or so. We were relaxed. We were kind of playing good. And Arden Olson's playing defensive end. And you run the option. It's where you take the ball, come down like this, and you see Steve did it really good a couple times, and the end comes to you, and you pitch the ball, and there goes Randy or Stu or whoever, run for a touchdown. I walked up to Arden, and I came up fairly close, and I pitched the ball. I never even saw it. He hit me with his right flipper right here. And I turned around in the scoreboard, and I was just like, okay, everything's fine. There were like 3 scoreboards. The score was 116 to 75. I said, I'm not gonna fall down. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna stand up because he's gonna take my spot. Anyway, that's a true story. Arden hit, you hit. Yeah, I know I'm embarrassing him now. I shouldn't do that. He goes, I know, absolutely. Well, no, I thought to myself, it's better to have him with a green-colored jersey on than the other team's jersey. Arden Olson, folks.
All right, thanks.
Anyway, we took the safety.
You should have been on this panel.
We took the safety.
Yeah.
What's that?
We're going back to the safety now?
We took this, yeah.
Yeah, it all worked out, huh? Because of you, man.
No,
all right.
It worked out.
Stu Betts.
Stu? Stu's run against, do you remember Stu's run against Central? Down the left side. In the films, it looks like it looks like, yeah, that's a quick one. Somebody asked me during the game film, they said, boy, Steve really pitched that one fast. You realize you come up in pro right, you know the guys I'm talking about, you got the tight end here, but you only have a tackle here. But their defense is going to be favored to the strong side. So if you see that they're trying to invert the free safety, You come out quick and boom. But if this end's coming fast, Paul, you got to pitch it fast, don't you? Got to be out of your hand real quick. Well, Steve was quick, and he comes down, and boom, and Stu's got it. And the funny thing is, Stu, pretty good-sized guy. He's our fullback. You've never seen as fast a fullback as this guy right here. And he went down the sideline right in front of us, and he looked like a slalom skier going right. And I just kept going around them guys, and I was going, son of a gun, look at him go. 7 on the scoreboard. Stu Betts.
Give him a hand. Give him a hand.
7.
It's a preview of the banquet tonight.
I get excited just talking about
You are
this
fired
stuff.
up, man. Don't forget your tie, okay?
Okay, I won't.
All right.
I don't think
Don't take that mic
I
from me.
tried to tie it once already. I
can
need
tie it
someone
for
to
you.
tie it for me.
Anybody know how to tie a tie?
Yeah,
We used to have
raise your
clip-ons.
hand.
Okay.
Okay. I think-
Anybody else have anything for this panel?
I want to know what.
Oh, geez.
I want to know what. I want to know which poster Rick Popp liked more, Farrah Fawcett or the team.
So I'm not lying. Hey, Ricky, Izzo and I had Farrah Fawcett poster in our room. Did we give you that poster? That might have been.
Come on now, Rick.
We had our own. We had our own.
Yeah.
I might still have it. Don't
You had
touch Stu.
who had a Farrah Fawcett poster? Come on, hands. Yeah, show of hands.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I had a New Orleans Saints one.
You had who?
It's all I could afford. We got it free at the grocery store. The New Orleans Saints with Archie Manning.
Archie Manning, yeah.
Yeah.
Now they got another Arch Manning coming up, huh? For Texas.
Oh boy.
Okay, so listen, if anybody wants to go over to the football practice, they're going to be over there in the dome, running around a little bit, just to kind of in shorts before the game tomorrow night. You're welcome to do that. It's open for us and the public.
Are we
Banquet,
done with questions?
We're done with questions. Do not ask.
I got a
another
couple
question.
more.
There's no more time.
We out
The
of
sun's
time?
going down, Bob.
We're
And
running.
What time is the
clock.
banquet, Kylie? What time's the banquet tonight? Huh?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
6
What time is it
o'clock,
now? Is there a clock in here?
Yeah, it's 2:51.
This-
Before we go, though, Rick Popp, I think you have something you want to give, right?
Yes. Hey, Steve, I just wanted to. Oh, go ahead. You got something? Yeah. All right. So I just wanted to honor, especially all of you from the 75 team. As you know, and we've had some good reunions together, the team from 1987 was number 1 in the country for 6 weeks. We fell 1 game short of the national championship, but we developed a real bond with you guys. And one of our teammates, Phil Vernash, out in Seattle, had made this beautiful this plaque here that, and he said, give it to Steve from us, the 87 team, and you do what you want with it. You could give it to the guys. You can put the trophy case here. It's kind of hard to take on the plane, I imagine. But on it, it does say discipline, commitment, enthusiasm, effort, pride. It says Northern Michigan University, 1975 national champions. You'll notice that R number, 18 is on there, Steve. Yeah, so that apparently is you, because this all you guys and all your hands together. And, of course, the fourth quarter that you talked about all the way through till now. And I just, these hands all come together. And that's just the beauty of this community, beauty of our bond for each other. And just pray that that bond continues with everybody, so that we all come together as a community. So love you guys. Love you, brother.
Thanks.
So it's a team sport. You know, it's always a team sport, but I see some of my fellow defensive comrades that are in right now. They need to be acknowledged. If you stand up, I'll say your name. I see Joe Stemo right there. Stemo, come on, man. Yep. Yep. Joe Stemo. I see Mike Berry hiding back there. Come on, Mike, get up. I see my buddy, Mark Fragel. Come on, dude. Randy Zimmerman, take a bow. I never figured out why they call you Shorty, because you're not. But Dave Stender, come on, man. When I was here, he was defense. I heard later on they moved him to offense, but come on, get up, Hetz. Tim Hetzel. Artie Olson, where are you, man? Come on, man, get up, on your feet. Where is he? Where is he? Joel Hanner, where are you, man? Yeah. Good-looking Tom Butchkowski. Get up. Jeff Reinbold. I thought you were defense. Okay. All right. Get up anyway. I was going to save him for last. Is Tom Gilbert here?
He was.
Okay. Okay, but get up, bro. Just real quick, Jack Gentner was one of the guys. He was a freshman, and he didn't play much that year. But playoffs came. We had some guys that were, because of transfer, stupid rules were ineligible. And Jack Gentner is one of the freshmen that Coach Grenke molded into championship physical, just ready. And he held his own in those 3 championship games. He went against guys that were 250, 270. He played right in front of me. And he had a great game every time he got in the field. I can't say enough about you, Jack. I'm sorry. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, no, you know what? I couldn't. They wouldn't let me catch the plane if I didn't. Get up, Ames. Aimless, Amo. Come on, Ken Ames. Yeah. Yep. Oh, whoa. And during the playoffs also, this guy was a running back for the whole season, but we lost some linebackers, and he stepped in. Kurt Albrecht, come on, man.
Albrecht.
Oh, is that Bush?
Where's Bush?
Get up.
He left.
He left. Is there anyone charged to my head, not my heart, if I don't see you? Just real quick, I didn't plan it, but that's my doctor and my best friend, my wife, Janet. She's actually a service dog in her lap. Chanel, that's my buddy. So I'll let you do offense. But thank you very much.
All right, help me out with offense.
Okay.
All right, we'll be quick.
Yeah, Cooch ain't here and Alex ain't here, but I carry them with me in my heart. Oh, and 1 second, he played defense for a while. Paul Krieger. Come on, man.
Oh, I was going to introduce him for offense.
Okay, no, he played defensive end also.
I know
yeah.
he did.
Okay, yeah.
You got like Paul that went on both sides, so did Hetzel.
Yep.
All right, and then we have Danny Stencil over here, with
Okay.
Kodak All-American. We have Stu Betts right here. Has anybody met Bob Tuma? Paul Krieger, Jerry Kanka, stand up right here. We got, let's say, Brad Wynn.
Wendy.
How about Roy Brown? Jerry Crocker. How about another Youper, Steve Solani? Let's see. Pat Roach, you came after, didn't you? Huh? Pat Roach, all right.
Get up, Roach Killer.
Let's see, who am I missing here? Let's see. We have Mike Fedrizzi was a punter afterward. All right, here we go. Where am I? Well, Danny Harv's right here.
Where is
Danny
he?
Harv.
Danny Harves. Oh, my God. Wow.
Who did I miss? How about, Brian Adams from Norway, Michigan, another Youper. Who else? Dan Cooley, what are you doing over there?
Stand up, Danny.
Did I miss anybody?
Yeah.
Did I miss anyone? Where's Donnie? Donnie Erickson here?
He was.
Donnie from Rhinelander, Wisconsin.
And Kurt Albrecht played both ways.
Yeah, we got to do you again because Kurt Albrecht from Marquette, Albrecht played linebacker and running back in the national championship game. We had guys hurt. We had guys that were ineligible because of the transfer rules that you couldn't play in the playoffs. So we had all these freshmen playing. Then we had Joe Hanner get hurt in the game and all kinds of things. And that guy, I don't know how he did it. You saw the film. He's in the game on both sides of the ball at the end. Kurt, stand up twice. Oh, is that Rick Comley up there? Hey, Rick, thanks for doing all this weekend, man. We appreciate it. I think I did. Do it again. Hey, Shank, stand up again. Jack Hearn, if we're doing punters and kickers and long snappers. Tomorrow,
Where's,
we're going to hear, excuse me, head coach. Tomorrow we're going to hear from Jack and his team from Los Angeles regarding the movie that they're going to do. So you don't want to miss that. I think it's going to be right here, right? Kaylee, is it going to be here? It's going to be here. You're going to show the game if you want to see the game, and then we're going to do a panel discussion on right country, where you guys are in the process for making that movie. It's going to be awesome. Okay?
Yeah, tomorrow here, 11 o'clock, we're going to watch the game first, take a little intermission, and then hand it over to the filmmakers and learn all about it. So join us again tomorrow in here if you can.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Yeah, I just want to thank Kurt Albrecht. He's my chauffeur. I lost my license. I can't see well enough to drive. And more than just being a chauffeur, he's been a great friend. Thank you, Kurt.
All right, everybody, thank you. That concludes our panel discussion for this afternoon. If you want to go over to watch practice, you're welcome. See you at the banquet tonight or tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for coming.